High Plains Technology Center, turning education and training into workplace success.
Oh, back to school, to prove to Dad that I'm not a fool.
High Plains Technology Center, education at the speed of business. School is now in session.
Here we are, good Wednesday morning. This is Taylor Burnett sitting in for you, talking all things High Plains Technology Center. Thanks to Katie once again stepping in, had Dawn and Jen. We usually like to close the semester out the same way we start the semester, and then I'm not going to probably open the semester with this guest, but we'll probably close the year with this guest. But I'll let the guest introduce himself.
Barclay Holt, superintendent at High Plains.
Okay. So the problem is when the two of us get on here, you never know what direction we're going to go because we don't even know what direction we're going to probably go with things. And
we've got branching around late already.
everybody's holding their collective breath as we speak. With everything. Hopefully the board members aren't listening or any contingency out there. But no, we just like to kind of do a recap because yes, we do run year round out there, but and this will be our last show of the year, but we've got a lot going on. In January, we're going to really hit the ground running when it comes to things because we've got a lot of busyness. And I know everybody, how often do you get asked about the building?
Oh, quite a bit. I mean, people have noticed what's going on and see the progress. There'll be a lot more progress here in the next couple of weeks. I think they're going to start up with some interior stuff on that, but just the overlying of what is that building, diesel welding construction. Amazing that as much as we've talked about it, people still don't know what we're doing.
Yeah. But it's okay.
But that's fine. I mean, they see stuff happening and know what's going and ask, and I always appreciate that. I can tell staff, if you don't know, call me. I can answer it, and we'll go on. But no, it's exciting to get that thing. They got concrete on the ground, got everything's ready to go. It's just ready to go up now, the building. And
once it starts going up, I bet we'll get it even more questions, don't you think?
Yeah, it'll draw more attention, and it's going to be they still feel like they're on I had them come present to the board last month and still feel like they're on a timeline that we can move in there by August. So excited about that and what opportunity it's going to provide for kids.
The beauty is there's other big projects going on that we're kind of connected to as well. And I know that other project, I know firsthand that has a deadline also that kind of helps us with things also with that. But
yeah, no, it's been good. I mean, there's a lot.
The amount of dirt work between ours and on Hanks Trail has been kind of amazing as well.
It takes a lot of dirt to.
It definitely does. That guy in that dirt business is probably pretty happy right now with everything.
Yeah.
But we've got a lot of stuff going on January. We do this every year for a board meeting. We do the Legacy Award, and this year we're honoring someone that's well deserving as well.
Yeah, Bobby and Brenda Alexander are going to be our Legacy Award winners. That's I walked in here earlier, and Branson wanted to talk about. He said, "What you been doing?" And I said, "Well, it's kind of that." He said, "Getting it wrapped up." And I said, "Well, it's kind of the week that we get everything ready for the next semester." And so, right out of the box, I think on the 12th next month, it's the second Monday of the month.
Second Monday,
we will. Right after board meeting, do a Legacy Award, which is our foundation banquet. Taylor's more involved in that than you have been, but the foundation, we started that 5 years ago, and we're trying to and decided to honor an awardee each year, and this year it'll be Bobby and Brenda Alexander for the donation of that dance studio, and what that is going to perpetuate and has already propelled to some extent on the post-secondary venture that we're trying to do. So anyway, excited to honor them that night and have their family and friends there as well, along with the staff.
And Brenda's really been killing it lately because I saw her at a dance competition. I go, gosh, you're going to have to create like a new shelf.
I don't know if Bobby will be able to live with
I know. When it came to the governor announcing for the statewide Arts Council, I believe, or something like, I read that in the paper.
Hall of Fame.
Yes.
Or something like
I mean, what a big deal. So I'm like, man, that's pretty neat. When we talk about things when we wrap up the semester, and we always bring everybody in, we've really this year, you and I have made a bigger focus, I believe, on trying to get, the businesses as well as the schools together. And, it's pretty neat.
That off.
Yeah, exactly.
It was good. I mean, we've always had meetings with the superintendents and then likewise the counselors, Audra and Amber before would meet with the counselors, but we tried to bring all those people together school-wise and then put them with the business leaders, and you helped. Obviously, that's a mission that me and you are working on, and we know those gaps are there, but to get them in the same room, small step in a giant venture that we're on, I guess, in terms of getting those, try to do kind of meet in the middle. It's amazing. You would think that everybody would understand what everybody else is doing, but when you get them in the room, you understand how much difference there is and the gaps that fall in there between education and industry.
And, I take for granted, but, think of your background, think of my background and how diverse those two things were. And then here we are, with that. It's no different than that. Right. I had that business aspect, that business mindset. You've been a lifelong educator,
right?
But you've also been a business person as well.
Yeah.
And we take for granted a lot of those things that those two blend together. But in reality,
well, yeah, I think where you live it, you take that for granted. But if you didn't live it, then if I was just, I'll just use my wife for example. That's more education minded. Just that's what she's done. That's where it lands. And,
yes.
And if you're over here in business, that's where you see it. And because every business person went to school, then they think, well, crap, I would have got that. I got that from somebody, so I'm still getting it. And a lot of it comes from that student's mindset. We see it within our students. We see some that come in that are, they're headed down an academic route. They're going to go on to a 4-year institution, possibly get, doctorates or whatever. And then you have the other kid over here that's like, tell me why I need this. They finally figure out why they need it at some juncture, and then they may be the most successful businessman in town later on, or woman. So.
And that's the goal. That's the reality. Because I've really, over the years and everything my eyes have been opened even more so, and they continue to be. And we talk about this a lot outside. We don't really talk about it on the radio, but we talk about it a lot, the connection from all the way from TAP to that lifelong, adult learner that we're trying to expand and grow. And it really, it matters.
Well, and in your new role, that's been something that you've had to, and there's lots of times I say, hey, Taylor, it is slower, and hey, Taylor, and the understanding of it is such a huge deal of getting those kids to start at a 6th grade level, understand how they can prepare for high school, how high school then can prepare them for post-secondary, and then, okay, it's great to say we're headed to post-secondary, but what is that?
Yeah.
What's the goal then? Because, you may be, even when you get to post-secondary, your path may mean CNA to LPN to RN. It also may mean CNA and be the head of all CNAs at a nursing home, and that's your goal. So, and both are very, very, they're very needed, and they're very good goals.
And it's funny because I love that you said that, because I think at times I tell people every time I talk to them, don't let someone else define your success.
Yes,
absolutely. And we do that a lot. It's parents.
Parents are guilty. I am one of those. So I'm talking about myself. I'm not talking about anybody else. But the reality is, I can get my own way.
Yep.
And
in our kids' way.
I got three kids. They've got 3 different paths, and that's fine.
Yeah, and I think as we age, and been through that, and we're both on our youngest, it's probably helped us.
Oh yeah.
But if you talk to us, 24 years ago, 25 years ago,
I've always said something that's just a Barclayism, if there is such a thing.
I love Barclayism,
but I've always said,
strap on, folks.
Nobody walks their kid up to kindergarten. It doesn't matter if you're the most successful person in town by whatever that criteria is, or you're somebody that struggled. Nobody walks their child up to kindergarten and says, man, I hope my kid's a wreck.
Yeah.
We walk up wanting better for our kids and want them to be successful, and we all have ideas of what that is. Somewhere between pre-K and graduation, our child teaches us a lot about what that is.
And, I think something that fuels us and puts the fire in both of us, and as well as all the staff out there with things when we're going on this new venture, is I've had 2 calls this week about someone who's saying, hey, we need a direction. We want a direction. This kid needs a direction. We got to get that figured out. And how many times have we heard that and not being able to provide that direction?
Oh, 100%.
It's one of the worst things, and it eats at me, honestly.
Yeah, and I think it's what we're trying to work on.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's like, I've said we've got, 4 or 5 post-secondary type opportunities, and my gosh, if we get to 10,
for sure.
We just changed the world. And I mean, when you hear the business people sit in there and referring back to that meeting, counselors, principals, all that, and talking to the business people, and the business people say, hey, they're so far behind it. They want it to happen. They see the need in it. They understand that we're not telling you there's a cookie cutter on that either. We're not coming across. We do not have the answers of what that might look like as far as program setup, but we're going to try to continue to give our high school kids a exposure to a lot of different industries, and then they maybe within that take a pathway, and that's what we're trying to do.
And because it's it's what we're trying to do. It's what we're trying to work for.
And to not be amiss, that's what Bobby and Brenda, with their donation of that building, really springboarded for us, because it had been an idea, and when that facility come across, it's got momentum with our legislator. It's put stake. There's some private stake in the game, which really. And really
I don't think they even realized when,
I think the first meeting I had with Bobby, I don't think there was any doubt that, like, my vision was much bigger than maybe just the building and what we would do with it. I mean, I think, and it's been fun to talk about it.
And when we talk about, here we are, school, how do we get there? And, here this donation was, and now we are there.
Yeah.
But we're still, got a ways to go, but it's bringing that
I think
to
it's
reality.
kind of put a focus on Western Oklahoma. I mean, and I think we've been left out so long.
I'm glad that you're saying it, because I say it all the time, and other people need to probably hear that.
And I don't think they understand, when you talk about, if you look to the eastern side of the state, there's 2 years on every corner, on every side of every hill. But over here, there's not. And I think the reality is they just, at some juncture back, I mean, it's been 75, 80, 100 years ago, somebody did a better job of wanting that out here.
Yes.
And so, hopefully High Plains will be a small part of that, and that building, I think, will serve as kind of a long time, I don't know, I won't say statue or whatever, but a symbol of where that started, I think, is what we're.
So you're saying you want a statue of you? Is what
I didn't want a statue of me.
On the top of the building? Is that where it would be?
Taylor. The last thing I want is a statue. One would take too much.
We're gonna put it where the birds are hovering
Imagine
over.
What that thing would weigh. I'm out. So,
the head.
And the head on that thing would be. I don't want any part of it. Yeah.
It would be, I don't know if there's enough smeltering to go on there.
It wouldn't take any hair though.
But and so when we go into these things, that's what we're looking at, and that's what we're building towards. And getting to honor them is one of the biggest things, because we understand it, and here we are, we're living it now, and it's because of them. And it's just cool. The Bobby and Brenda Alexander Training Center, the Alexander Training Center has come to fruition, and here that is going to be honored. It's pretty cool.
Yep. No, it's going to be a neat
So
deal.
What else you want to talk about the year?
We got that, and then follow up. We've got state superintendent's meeting. We'll be here in Woodward. We kind of roll those around amongst the 29, and we're hosting that towards the end of January. And I mean, is it a big thing? I mean, in terms of what it does for us, not really, but it's always good to get people from the other side of the state and all over the state to see Woodward, see the area, see what we do, and then how we do it. I think it's pretty cool.
No matter what, I say this, until you get eyes on what we do, no one fully grasps and understands.
Right.
No matter what it is out there, until you get your eyes, until you see, until you get to experience it, no one fully understands.
Absolutely.
So, all right, as we wrap up, here we are, Christmas time, right around the corner.
I knew he was going to do a curveball.
What's the number? I know your answer.
What?
What's the number one Christmas movie at the Holt for Barclay or at the Holt House or
Christmas
both?
Vacation.
Yeah,
That's
I
not
know.
even close. Yeah.
How many times do you say you Sirius Clark a year?
I don't know. We've watched that thing. I mean, we had, I don't know what year that came out. You could probably recite that, but I remember when the girls were little and we'd be in the Tahoe, and Kaylee specifically could recite every bit of it. And that was a bad deal all the time. Sometimes you want to duck you and make sure who else is in the vehicle with you. So anyway,
you laugh, and Camille probably did not laugh.
Camille did not laugh. She did not see it as funny as I did.
Okay, because in my house it's Elf probably, but but Christmas Vacation is a big.
It's the deal.
Yeah. All right. Well, everybody have a great Christmas. We'll see you in 2026. Stay safe out there.
3 months to start writing that on a check.
And embrace your family time more than anything. We'll see you next year.